The complication when you start sewing initially is knowing that different fabrics work different ways, that you have to, like zippers to this day are still my nightmare. They're very complicated to put in. You have to make sure they're very lined up.
Super straight, like you
if the teeth don't line up, the zipper won't zip.
Oh, damn.
Not to mention, most of the time you don't want the zipper to be super obvious, so it's got to be sort of hidden, and that it requires things. But the pattern is, and knowing where to measure your body to pick the right size pattern is for a beginner where you learn something.
Okay.
Because you can go to Joann's or any fabric store and buy patterns, which have directions on how to put everything together. And again, that's just following directions and putting,
following a map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it was knowing where to measure and all those kinds of things. So we actually sewed them ourselves, but my friend loves when I tell this story because her mom, every Sunday we would get together and her mom would say, okay, girls, I'll be right back. And she would walk down to the corner liquor store and she would get 2 tall boys. And then she would come back and she would sit in this chair in the corner of her living room and we would sew on the floor in the dining room table, like cut out big patterns.
And she would hang out and drink.
And she would just hang out and drink.
And help when you needed it.
And help when we needed it. And I don't
actually mind that parenting.
No, she was awesome.
There's worse parenting going on.
Yeah, I consider her my second mom. And when I got into fashion school, like I thanked her for getting me there. And, and she really did. Even though she was sitting there drinking 2 tall boys, she spent the time to make sure that like we, were doing what we loved. And anytime after that, because my friend never got into it, but I stuck with it. Anytime I had questions, she always,